As always, we already talked about one of those guys. Actually, we talked about two. Sterling Shepard, I love Jarvis Landry. Who else is on your radar?
Larry Fitzgerald, we talked about 3.
Buy low, man.
Buy low, $5,000 on DraftKings
This is a
week.
guy that was routinely priced in the high 7,000s last year.
He's certainly a long shot wide receiver, too, if you decide to maybe go in on a guy like Kamara. If you need to find a cheap wide receiver, too, or a flex option, Larry Fitzgerald. Seattle's secondary, not what it used to be. And, again, rookie quarterback. You'd think he's going to be looking for his 2 best players. That's probably been drilled into his head this week. I wouldn't be surprised if old number 11's maybe gotten in his ear a little bit. And then at wide receiver, not super cheap, but Emmanuel Sanders. Great start to the year. He has a definite chemistry with Case Keenum there. $6,900 on DraftKings, a very nice price. 95 yards or a touchdown in every game so far this season.
Very good pick. I am, being the Bronco fan that I am, that's a wide-open game that should be a shootout. I'm going to throw Tyler Lockett in the mix. I like the matchup at Arizona. Climate-controlled, indoors, big play guy with Baldwin hurt. This is where Russell Wilson's going for his 20-yard-plus throws. And on DraftKings, you catch a 60-yard touchdown, and you can just ring up that cash register. A couple obvious choices. I mentioned Landry Thomas, and we get that. But DeAndre Hopkins and T.Y. Hilton both have favorable matchups. Tight ends, the pickings are slim right now, man. I mean, if you don't go with Gronk or one of the big names, I'll throw a couple just goofball prices at you. I think Antonio Gates, for what you're paying, one of the lowest priced tight ends out there. He was always going to take 3 or 4 weeks to get up to speed. Chargers and Rivers like to throw the ball in the red zone. Gates, to me, is a dirt cheap option.
I got another dirt cheap option. I see he's there in your green as well. Austin Hooper from the Falcons. $2,900 on DraftKings going back to last season. We broke down that Cincy-Atlanta game. We think it's going to be high scoring. Bengals have allowed a touchdown to tight ends in 5 of their last 7 games. They're a bottom 5 defense this year against the tight end. So, you look at what Atlanta was able to do. You look at the big game Calvin Ridley had. You think maybe he gets a little more attention now. Julio's going to get his attention. They're throwing the ball a ton. Austin Hooper's going to have room underneath. He's going to have a good day, and he's only $2,900.
Your Twitter handle?
At Dan Myers, Myers.
At FSN Gorg for me. We'd love your fantasy football or wild questions anytime. If, we get something this weekend that's exciting and we help you, let us know. If we burn you, hey, bad beats are kind of what this show's built around. We'll talk about those next week. We'll give you a little plug here on our show. It is the Frozen Fantasy on the Talk North Podcast Network. And again, talknorth.com. Jim Suhan, the guy. Get your product or your spot on our show. Dan, it's going to be an awesome weekend of fantasy football, the last weekend of fantasy football before the real season starts with the Minnesota Wild. We'll be on the road next week, this time out in Denver. Should be a lot of fun.
Best time of year, start of the hockey season, fantasy football season in full swing. Ryder Cup this weekend. It's going to be a great weekend to be on the couch.
Let's go USA. Let's go fantasy football. For Dan Myers, I'm Kevin Gorg. Thanks for tuning in to the Talk North Podcast Network.
You just want to provide the best service you can, and marketing is vital to build your business, but it's also overwhelming and confusing. Successful Marketing Group is passionately committed to businesses, helping them get found, get customers, and build dreams. Successful Marketing Group understands your problems and truly wants to help you be successful, providing digital marketing packages with proven results. Go to successfulmarketinggroup.com/Cheryl Reeve for a free 45-minute audit and action plan. That's successfulmarketinggroup.com/Cheryl Reeve.